So tell me where you work and what your title is, what your responsibilities are there.
My focus area is over there by SeaWorld, Highway 151, one of the newest, fastest growing areas in town. I'm the broker owner. I own the company, and we've got about 13 agents that work for us there. It's a fast growing area. Of course, that's good and bad because during a recession like the one we just came out of, it's one of the areas that has the least equity. So most of the owners are upside down in their homes when a recession comes. But that's good for us. It's an opportunity to focus on other things like property management, short sales, and assignments. So we got very good at those during the recession, and now it's great because the equity is coming back to the area now. So
Right.
it's exciting.
Well, with 60% of the homeowners underwater, the equity situation is a little difficult. How
Sure.
can those people feel comfortable putting their home on the market for sale?
Well, that's just it. You give people options. Most of them can't put their home on the market because they can't take a $15, $20, $30,000 loss. So we find them a tenant, we rent it out, we manage it for them, or we help them with the short sale, or we find an assignment for them, which is an owner finance type deal for them. So that's options that you have in an economy where you can't really sell your home and make a profit or break even, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I understand that 5% of homeowners now who were underwater last year are now positive on their equity. So
Right.
is that helping the situation?
It is, and one thing also that's helping the situation is because it's such a new area, there's a lot of builders in the area, and they go up on their prices a lot faster with the new homes. So that brings the equity back to the pre-owned homes at a little bit faster rate, I'd say. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you must have a lot of upset homeowners. Ooh.
There are people that do get, they're unhappy, but they are glad that they have options. It's not, well, we can't help you, sorry. There were a lot of other major franchises in the area in 2007 when, the place area was booming, basically. When that recession came, all of those companies went out of business. We had a KW, we had two other Remaxes, we had a Coldwell Banker, we had an ERA, and during the recession, they all basically went out of business, and I always say because they didn't do the things that people don't want to do, which is property management, short sales and foreclosures. Traditional real estate franchises don't focus on those things because they're higher risk or take more time, take more work, and they don't want to focus on them. But in a recession, you have to. So that's one of the reasons we survived, and now things are getting so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these homeowners are really in a traumatic situation, aren't they?
A lot of them are. Some of them are, more realistic about it. They see the news, they heard, they know what's happened. They know the market's come down. And once you explain it to them, they basically renting the home out is not a bad thing. We put people through a pretty rigorous, application process. So you have a good chance of getting a solid tenant in there. There is some risk involved. You do have to hold on to that investment versus just getting rid of it and moving on to a new home. But most of them are accepting of the fact. I'd say,
But do they,
it's a
do you think
reality.
they see this as the end of the road for them as far as home ownership?
No, absolutely not.
It's not the end
The
of
way
the road?
we sell it is, in San Antonio, the rental market is very strong because most people can't qualify for a home. So the way we sell it is turn it into a cash flowing situation. A negative situation would be having to sell it and lose $20,000, $30,000 on your home. That would be negative. That would, make me think I don't want to get into buying or selling a home again. But if we can put a tenant in there and you go to making a couple $100 a month in cash flow from that tenant's payment, that's a positive situation. That's a situation where you're making money versus losing money. It may not be the ideal situation because you wanted to move that home and go and buy another one wherever it is you're moving to, and you may not be able to do that yet because you still have that home. But it's a positive situation, and
But they're still facing a traumatic situation.
in most cases, it's not the ideal situation. But it's all about how you communicate.
Completely turned off to home ownership now as a result.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'd say most people look at it as
So they do turn to rental properties to get out of that situation. Is that how they do it?
they turn it into a rental home. Correct. The area that we work in, and let me explain, there's a lot of military. We're right by a military base. So these active duty military people are buying homes, and then they're getting restationed 3 months later. And they have to do something with the house. They can't sell it.
Doesn't the military help them with that situation, though?
The military will help. They do come in, and they have a HAFA program, is what they call it, where they will come in and help you short sell the home. But they don't traditionally
Is
want
HAFA a military program?
It's either HAFA or HAP. And excuse me, I get confused on the HAFA and the HAP, but we did help a couple of military clients short sell their homes where the military came in and paid the difference or the shorted amount that the bank was going to get shorted. But they don't traditionally want to do that. You know, there's a long application process. They want you to figure out a way to take care of it on your own if possible. You know, they will step in. Let's say you get 6 months behind on your mortgage, they'll step in and they'll offer that program to you. And we have some people that have done well with the program, but most people, I think, don't want to have to go through that whole process. They don't want to have to, you know, put that kind of strain on the government, and they're willing
What's the
to.
alternative? If they don't go through that process, what do?
They have to rent the home out.
So
Right.
military folks are going to rent the home before they're moved on to their next duty station?
Right. Well,
Why
you know,
are they
they're
doing
going to.
that?
I'd say the clear, you know, 70–80%. You know, you have a small percentage that
Rather
are
than go
going
through with a short sale?
the short sale process. Yes.
What
Well,
about foreclosure? Could they just
absolutely
have it
not.
foreclosed?
You know, there's a big you know, when you get behind on your
Deed in
mortgage.
lieu? Do you see any people take deed in lieu from their lenders?
You know, I don't see that happen too often, especially in the military. What happens in the military, if you miss a couple of payments, your commanding officer gets a phone call, and he says, "What's going on?" And that's when it really becomes a process of, okay, well, you need to figure something out. You need to either sell the home, take the loss, you need to rent it out, and get a tenant in there and start covering your mortgage, or you need to get involved in a short sale program. So,
So in your brokerage, you're the broker owner.
correct.
Are you recruiting agents? How do you?
Yes, sir.
How many agents do you have now?
We have 13 agents currently.
Yeah. So how do you get new agents into your business?
Well, you know, ours is an interesting type of market. The area that we're in, I explained the other companies that went out of business. Agents have seen that, and they don't view the area as a positive place to be. There's another portion of town that most agents kind of flock to. But, you know, we still get a good influx of agents. They want to be in an area where there's less competition, there's more opportunities, you know. There's a little bit different way of doing business at times, but now that equity is coming back to the area, the market is getting much better. We're seeing a lot more agents walk through our doors.
So where are they coming from? If they come to you, where have they been employed previously?
You know, that all over really. Keller Williams is really huge in our market.
So you're stealing the agents from Keller Williams? Is that what you do?
I wouldn't say that they are being stolen. I would definitely say that they are coming to us. They're seeing the brand.
Well, we hear that quite often, though, that RE/MAX brokerages are stealing their agents from other companies.
I'd say absolutely not. You know, Keller Williams, and Keller Williams was my first brokerage actually, where I started. I got my license in 2006.
So you like to pick on Keller Williams?
Yeah, and I tell my story there. You know, my first 2.5 years in real estate, I sold 3 houses, and they were all to my mother. So that's my story at Keller Williams. They don't have a good way of engaging their agents. They basically, they're
So
huge
you have it out
offices.
for Keller, huh?
They're huge offices. You know, I mean, you know, I like their leadership there. That's one thing that I will give them a lot of positive credibility for, is because they have good leadership. But they don't really have a good way of engaging the agent. You know, I mean, you go there, you're one of 500 agents. You know, and unless you're somebody that can really break out of your shell, or unless you're somebody that knows how to ask for help, like so many of us don't know how to do, especially when we get into the industry, you're not going to succeed like I didn't.
Well, what about those people who don't have any experience in the industry? Are you recruiting agents who are inexperienced?
You know, if they have the right mindset, you know, if they're driven, you know, if they're very serious, if they're disciplined, they can do well at RE/MAX.
So you would recruit inexperienced agents?
Absolutely. We had one gentleman who was he retired military guy. His name was Terry Short. Great guy. He made 6 figures his first year at our office. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even a full year. It was like 9 months, and he made that in the middle of 2009.
How many inexperienced agents do you have?
I would say it's maybe 2 or 3 that come in out of our 13 now, don't have any experience. Normally we suggest that they get on a team if they don't have any experience. They start working as a buyer specialist, you know. When you're coming into the industry, if you're coming into the business, it's better to focus on one thing. You know, focus on working with buyers, focus on property management if that's the way you want to go.
So what kind of support do you offer these inexperienced agents? Do you have training for them?
You know, RE/MAX
How do you bring
offers
them up to
great.
speed?
We do you know, office training, individually training. RE/MAX of Texas, our parent company, offers great training. We encourage them to log on to my RE/MAX University and
So
do
you
the
don't
training
do the
there.
training yourself? You don't have?
I do conduct training sessions once a month, you know, but if you're
Does that
new,
help them? Is that?
absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What kind
and
of training is it that you offer?
we focus more on the technology side of things. You know,
Not person-to-person skills?
we do that as well.
'Cause
We don't
isn't the
do a
whole
lot
thing
of.
about customer service?
It is, but we want people that come on board to have at least some level of competence when it comes to customer service. You know, if it's somebody that has no idea how to speak to people, has no idea how to communicate with others, it's probably not a good fit for real estate right off the bat. You need to go and develop some of those skills throughout life, and then come and try to be a real estate agent. We don't want to sit there and try to focus on some things that you really should already have when you're getting into this industry.
Anything you'd like to add, something we haven't talked about?
What I can think of is, I'm getting ready to open up my next RE/MAX franchise. One of the areas that all those other companies went out of business, a little bit further northwest, about 1.5 miles from my other company, I'll be opening up another RE/MAX. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be called RE/MAX Patriot. And I've got a nice recruiting pool for it already, about 10, 11 agents that are already going to come on board right when I open my doors. And it's in that area that over the last 5, 6 years, people have had no equity. It's been a kind of depressing area. But now that the market's coming back, you're seeing builders put a lot of homes on the ground. You're seeing those pre-owned homes that were built in 2006, 2007, really kind of gain equity. If a person was underwater, now they're not. And that's what's exciting about the area. And I know we're going to see some of our competitors pop up around me, but I'm going to be the first one there.